that caught my eye on this. Figured we might watch it before, but this one's from Halo follower. I can't do this anymore. And I'm assuming it's going to involve all the hate that's going around with Halo, because a lot of people who've talked a lot of shit about Halo within the last couple weeks to a month, they've been called out on it, and there's been an ongoing theme of them backtracking their stuff. I don't know if I have a part of it, but I've noticed like a few people that I've commented on their videos. Literally the next day, they upload a totally different video, and then the original video is gone. That I've noticed whenever they are just using the same taglines that, oh, Halo is trash. Oh my God, they ruined it. And it's just the hate just needs to stop. Honestly, it's so stupid. But let's check out this this video.
Halo fans are the most miserable, unappreciative fans in the world, and if Halo dies, it's because nothing will ever be good enough for them. Okay, we're gonna break that down. We're also going to talk.
I'm going to say that from my perspective, we've been yelling at each other since 2011 about Sprint. Wow. Hi, Miami. 7 stream streak. Oh my God. How are you? Wow, 7 streams. Oh my God. And the little like yelling guy. But what was this? Oh yeah, the Halo fans are miserable. I'm just gonna say we've been fighting each other since 2011 about Sprint, and it's like what I said with the people being called out for like just backing up. Not backing up's the wrong word. Adding on to the hate of Halo, it's not constructive criticism. It's just them being angry, and I think honestly the devs just gave up listening to the fans, because we've been arguing for like what 15 years about Halo over nothing, and they've done every type of wrong argument in existence. I lived yesterday. Had the best rivals ranked game of my life. Ooh. What'd you get up there with? Don't worry, I'll play Rivals again at some point. It's just I didn't want to play the last season, because the last season didn't really wow me that too much. And a lot of stuff was happening at the time with 2 marathons, which I will now like pace my marathons a little bit better than doing back-to-back marathons.
About the triumph of tolerance. Spoiler alert, this was destroyed by the burden of proof. So, is that some weird messaging there? We also have the PlayStation social
To be honest, when was this uploaded? Hold on. 1 day ago? The Halo follower, I think you should have like waited a day for like this part, because PlayStation has even doubled and tripled down on the no disc situation on their consoles. Death, yes, Miami. What's up?
because they're getting some backlash from PlayStation's recent news about ending disc support, and they have cautiously moved forward with this to end disc, and maybe this makes sense to them on paper because physical media has been...
No, it wasn't the disc thing that PlayStation doubled down on yesterday. It was Marathon. I forgot. Yesterday they made a post about Marathon and saying the numbers for Marathon are exactly like the profit margins that they wanted. That's right. They came out with an article yesterday, and I read, oh my God, I need to find this article. That they said Marathon is performing a lot better than what they think. Not they think, what they thought. And it's proven in the profit margins, but Marathon's barely holding 6,000 people. And when a new season drops, they get up to like 13 to 14,000 people. But they're confusing it with the days that people are saying go and play Destiny 2. While Destiny 2 still is rocking like 60,000 people a day. and Marathon can barely hold 6. And that's why a lot of people are saying, like, we're just going to give Marathon its year. Its year will have its full release, and then we'll see why Destiny died for Marathon. But it's not looking good, but Sony's, like, doubling down on it. And went 53, 5, and 18 kill death assist. Oh, damn. As thing. Ooh. You win as a tank. It's hard. Somebody who mains a tank, it's hard getting like double digit kills. It's mostly getting like double digit assist a lot because like whenever I play as a tank, I don't go for kills. I just go for like damage output as much as I can, and that's why not damage output. Blocking damage as much as I can to like annoy them to focus on me, and that's kind of why like I lose my mind with healers a lot because the healers always do like benefactor, especially in that game at the beginning. It was always them benefiting Spider-Man because they always thought Spider-Man was a tank. But damn, that's pretty good.
And dying dramatically. I think it makes up less than 8-9% of all sales, and plus they don't have to produce any physical copies. So it makes sense why they want to get rid of this once and for all, but I think that this would destroy a few markets like the second.
I'm going to say this right now. Physical media is the main selling point of consoles. Yes, when you buy a game on Steam, you don't own the game. There is a way to own the game. It starts with an M. I forgot what the site's called, but the one good thing I can say about consoles, at least, I know there's like a few others, is the disc drive because of the physical media. Because, and I've said this before, and this is kind of why I like to own physical anime as much as I can. Of basically when there's like you have like a full like let's say the scenario you are in a blackout and then just the power comes on. The internet is still not on. You can't play a game without a disc, without the internet. But if you have a disc that doesn't require internet, you can still play the game or you can watch the show. And Sony's doing everything they can to stop it. They stopped it with Crunchyroll that you can't really own physical like anime seasons on disc anymore. And I also do think it's pretty shitty that they're upping the subscription tier a little bit to even look at the store to buy something. I think that's really egregious. 53k damage, 67k damage blocked. Nice. You did the tank roll. You did the tank roll proud, Miami.
Hand market, and also they would be able to do what Nintendo does, which is sell games at full price 5-6 years after the game comes out. So we don't want that. But to get into the crux,
yeah, but Nintendo likes to hold your
I'm
games
so
hostage.
over this, man. I'm gonna go mask off. I've already been blacklisted, and I've been like, I mean, Reddit hates me already. So I mean, I don't even know what I could say that would piss them off more. I could sneeze and they would, get upset about that. But Halo fans being miserable, yes, I agree people are miserable, but I don't think that they're necessarily unappreciative.
Okay, two things. I've been getting flamed on Twitter, and I use that in very quotations on Twitter because it's always like stupid arguments of people hating that I like Campaign Evolved. I have said this before. I'm happy we're still getting Halo games. It's not like other games where they're saying, oh, we're not getting Call of Duty numbers, Dead Space, and then they can the whole franchise. They really do show unappreciation on that. Like, there's like people out there, I won't name off the channels unless they call me out on it. But the proof is there. We've seen some videos of people like complaining about Sprint. They've complained about there's no multiplayer. I've said my piece with multiplayer. If you're not going to include multiplayer, include firefight. And the game feels like every section is firefight, realistically. So they could have easily just done firefight in the game. I will say that, but I am happy that they are trying to go the Resident Evil route of putting in stuff that was in the afterthought after Halo 1. give me a Warhammer skin for Thing. Honestly, we could do that. I know Warhammer Space Marine 2 recently got its 14 it's a 14.0 patch update. I think it's its second to last update. I think I have to look at the roadmap. They updated the roadmap because no, it's the second to last one because they said they pushed back the Necron update to update 15.0. And I know like the main thing with this seasonal update is Raven Guard, but I have only seen the trailer. I've not booted up the game. I have told myself after Lasso, we will check out the update, and hopefully by then we'll also have open lobbies like figured out with everything. Well, we can probably make a skin for the Thing. I think it's also easy to make a skin for the Fantastic Four.
Of course, there is a certain group of people that might be, hateful of everything, but I think that this was created by 343's downfalls, right? And all their huge, massive
Bonnie Ross's downfall.
So it's not that nothing will ever be good enough for us, it's that they aren't actually even meeting the bar. Honestly, like, fuck this. Fuck this, because it's so dumb, dude. It feels
This is why I like Halo Follower. He's very blunt and very truthful to the point. Oh god. And I know he's doing like a series with like Helldivers and the Chief and Doom, and my god, I still am to this day working on trying to be a part of that series because he's always looking for voice actors, and I keep trying to like put out my my thing for to be in that episode for not that episode that series. Just I don't even care if I'm a side character that just yells "dang." I will be so happy. That would be like the pinnacle of voice acting for me right there.
feels like rage bait, right? Like, just a quick recap of the franchise is Halo 4 completely missed the mark, killed off
It
one
was
of
too much like Call of Duty.
gaming's beloved characters, and then Halo 5 brought her back because they couldn't tolerate making any decision that had any kind of negativity attached to it, and they overcorrected, brought her back, but as a space Hitler.
Whoa, I don't think we could say that. Whoa.
People just about. They killed her off again in Halo Infinite. In the meantime, Halo MCC became one of gaming's biggest points of failures of all time. In the past,
Honestly, the amount of shit that the Bonnie Ross era of Halo with 4, 5, and Infinite, you could correct me if I'm wrong about this, but it honestly felt like Bonnie Ross just hated Jen Taylor. It really did feel like that a lot. And if you don't know who Jen Taylor is, she's the voice actor of Cortana, but like her voice lines just kept getting smaller and smaller in Halo. Like Halo 4, I think she spoke the most in Halo 4, but it was like always like this distorted thing that they did because the rampasy stuff. But Halo 5, you barely heard her at all. Halo Infinite, I can think of 3 cutscenes that Cortana's in. And there was like a scene, I think it was, thank God I played all the Halos recently. There was a scene in Halo 5 that it felt like it just came from the devs of them saying why Cortana, because she was not supposed she didn't die like she was supposed to. That felt like it came from the devs, honestly. I know I called that out during the marathon a bit.
2-3 decades big. One of the top 10 biggest gaming disasters of this century, in my opinion, was Halo the Master Chief Collection. They launched this to celebrate the franchise, a collection of all the classic Halo games. Multiplayer didn't work.
It didn't work. Multiplayer for Master Chief Collection did not work for 8 years, and it was used for 2 marketing promotions. At first, Master Chief Collection was supposed to release alongside the TV show. It never did that. Instead, and they did give you the option to remove the cutscene because I didn't see it whenever we played through Halo 2. Um, if you started up Halo 2, you got like a pre-rendered cutscene of a preview of Halo 5 with like Spartan Locke and 3 other Spartans that they later changed their designs. That was one half of the cutscene. The other half of the cutscene for years was only in the Halo 5 beta. That every time you booted up, you saw the other half, and for years you could not see the other half because the beta was only around for like a week or two.
Bugs absolutely everywhere. Progression was broken. There was networking issues baked deeply into the game, and they left it. They left it for 4 years, just about. They left it broken for 4 something years. And then they only fixed it when they wanted to port it back on PC and relaunch it. Which, by the way,
I think, oh God, I had to like really remember this. I think we only had Master Chief Collection fully fixed for like a year and a half. And the reason why I'm saying a year and a half is we had some piece of Master Chief Collection being like in a working playable state, and then the cheaters started coming in. Like they during that time they cracked the anti-cheat, and they did like wild bans. Like one of the bans that was going on that was very popular, it happened to a buddy of mine, to where a cheater would pick a random person on the enemy team, change like their name here to that person, and put in slurs in the chat that was around here. And because of the fact that they spoofed their name a little bit, but their gamer tag was still here, the AI that was in the AI like spam detection thing in Master Chief Collection would not detect the actual person putting slurs in the Halo chat. It would detect it as like the actual person. And this happened to a buddy of mine, and I was there for this, to where they were putting slurs in the chat like the enemy team, and it even showed the person in the chat was like their name was Red, and the buddy of mine got banned for like a day because of this other guy. And the cheaters were like funny at one point in time because there was another game that we had a cheater on our team, and we still lost the game, and he was the worst player on the entire lobby, and he was still cheating, and we still lost. And I'm just like thinking, how could you cheat in a multiplayer game and still fucking lose? How bad are you that you need, like, oh, I want to be so great at Halo. I don't remember what Halo game it was. I think it was 3. Oh, I'm going to cheat in Halo. Oh, I'm going to win every game. I'm going to the highest tier. Loses a fucking game, even though you're cheating. And how I knew he was cheating? He was flying around. He was flying around one-hitting people, and the objective was capture the fucking flag. And there was like an ongoing thing with Reddit at the time, just saying, just stop playing, let the cheater do their thing, and they'll notice the activity from the cheater, and they'll ban him. And another game where we came across a cheater, they cheated. 2 or 3 matches later, mid-match, they got banned because people were doing that. A lot of times we were just playing like Wallpaper Simulator with Halo, and it was so annoying with the cheaters. To my understanding, this is still happening in Master Chief Collection, but it's so stupid. The hood in Rivals looks so good. Also, is it a hot take to say Reach was a peak of Halo? No, I don't think it was a hot take. I did put out my personal tier list of Halo. I personally think Halo 3 was peak because I like the campaign. Yes, even with the Cortana scenes, to a point. It honestly did get like a little annoying. It was the Gravemind that was like really stupid that they didn't need to like do that whole zoom in thing. I liked the multiplayer. I liked the rankings, the ranking system, because the ranking system was proving like where you were with the skill gap from like 1 to 50, and if you couldn't get past that, you could still level up to like an additional like 4 levels, I think. And if you want to get up past that, you would have to go up your you have to play rank to go up in it. Reach, I did like. The only thing I personally did not like about Reach was that was the start for me personally of doing dailies in games. Because like at one point in time, I think it was like within a month of Reach's release, a buddy of mine would like message me like every day saying we got to do our dailies and shit, and he would group up the three of us to get on, do our dailies, and 90% of our time our dailies were the same thing. We load up Oni sword base, do the target just run towards the target designator and just destroy everything with that. That was a good number of the challenges, and we barely did multiplayer. I barely did custom games in Reach. There were times, but there wasn't really a whole lot because a lot of us were just like thinking these custom games are already built in Halo 3. Let's just go to Halo 3 and wait for them to be built. And by the time that Duck Hunt, Fat Kid, um, there was like a few others, but I cannot remember their name, were made in Reach, we kind of were like, I think at the time we were more into like Gears at the time. But no, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying Reach was the peak of Halo. Reach was definitely the start of people hating on Halo because of Sprint. And that to me, and that fight didn't happen until like a year later for whatever reason. Like Halo Reach came out in 2010. I think it was like close to the end of 2010, but at some point mid 2011, that's when the Halo community started fighting each other every day about Sprint, and they still to this fucking day complain about Sprint. Like there was and of course I won't name off names within this. There was somebody who was like watching the Halo campaign evolved preview, and the moment that they had Master Chief sprinting, they just immediately ducked their head down in disappointment and tried their best not to say anything bad. And what's funny about this, the same person did not get early access to Halo campaign evolved, and they complained about it, saying, I have talked about Halo forever. Yeah, but not positively. Do you really think if you're calling someone a shithead and then a month or two later they have a birthday and you're not invited to the birthday party, and then you complain about not being invited to the birthday, and you're just told, remember what you said a month ago, calling me a shithead? There you go.
This has been 343's entire legacy, is that they tried to change Halo to make it better than Bungie. I think this is what they did. They wanted to be better than Bungie. They knew better than fans, at least. And once they
Did
realized that
they?
they couldn't do that, and most of the people in the studio fell apart, they had to wash their name clean by changing it to Halo Studios, just like I recommended they needed to do. But once
No,
they
no,
did
no. The
that
first time
work,
that they wash their hands
people
clean is
don't want to
firing Bonnie
stop
Ross.
making this name muddy, and they're gonna have to change Halo Studios to something else. Because at this rate, like I just think that if they continuously try to reboot the franchise for the fourth time with Halo 7, I don't even know what they're doing anymore, right? I mean, it's not working. It's not working. People, I'm tired of Halo 1. Maybe most people aren't, but I'm tired. Like I don't want a Halo 2 remake. I don't even want a Halo 3 remake. Like, of course I would play it and stuff.
You don't want a Halo 3 remake? I would love a Halo 3 remake. And I know that's in production. Well, kind of. Like, it's in art production at the moment. Because they already did announce Halo 2 and 3 is getting their version of campaign evolved within that. But I would honestly, I've been waiting for years for a Halo 3 remake, and to my knowledge, Halo 3 remake has been done, but for some weird reason it got deleted, and nobody knows why. Nobody knows where it went. It was supposed to be an add-on for the Master Chief Collection, but it never did. But that's kind of where it is.
But like I want them to actually move the franchise forward and commit to something that doesn't suck, that doesn't have a main character becoming a space Hitler, right?
Whoa.
Completely removing Master Chief from the core gameplay like Halo 5 did, or having Halo Infinite, which had a
I mean, I'll say this, and Miami bringing up Reach and Halo follower were saying this. One of the things that people really did like about Halo Reach is, yes, a story will eventually get to a point where it's not going to be about the chief, but there's going to be a time when somebody wants to like see like an evolution of something, and I think Reach did that the best because of the fact that, yes, we know in canon, Noble Six wears like gray armor and everything defaults from Reach. I forgot exactly what the armor is called, but that is Noble Six. But they gave you the option to put yourself as Noble Six, and that's one of the things that I like about custom characters in games, to where like you can either role play as yourself or someone else for that. That I personally, whenever I play through Reach again, I love seeing my recon blue armor throughout Reach's campaign. I loved it. It showed you, even though Reach's main purpose of the story was to teach you what defeat was like, because Halo 1, 2, and 3, I don't think ODST's in this category, to be honest, even though ODST was before Reach. It taught you what the chief was, what the chief was about. But in Reach, it was supposed to teach you defeat. But the one good thing about it that it taught you about defeat is you can put yourself in the shoes of Noble Six. Like, you yourself can be Noble Six with your custom Spartan, and you're learning a few things. Like, one, you're not the Master Chief. The Master Chief could be the one to save it, and you yourself are learning what defeat is like through your own shoes of that. That's the good thing about Reach, like storytelling that with the custom character part of putting in your custom Spartan. That's really good.
broken multiplayer that they didn't fix for about 2 years. Network sync was a big issue. Live service was beyond pathetic. And even though the bar was already so low in their roadmaps, which they eventually stopped releasing because they could not keep up with the 3 people working on the live service, that they still failed to meet expectations there. So I don't know, man. I mean, they once again failed to include multiplayer in Campaign Evolved. This is the second time they've remade Halo 1. This is the third iteration of the game, and they didn't do
I will say this, I really do think, yes, I know the chief is like the main thing with like building up the weapon, and they kind of did that with the book. I personally think, and this might have been a lot harder on the team at the time, because they did had to can the entire campaign of like 5 years worth of work and make it within a year. I think Halo Infinite should not be about the Master Chief. I honestly, with how much time and effort that they put into with the Spartans for multiplayer, with your Spartan armor, your AI companion that you had, that was even part of the training facility. They shouldn't have replaced the chief with your custom character and replaced the weapon with your personal AI. And that one would add more dynamic to the cutscene with like each. I think there was like 5 AIs at launch of the game, of multiplayer wise. I don't know about the voice lines for the AI for that, but I think Halo Infinite shouldn't have been about your Spartan starting to fight against the Banish and hunting for the Chief. I honestly think that's what it shouldn't have been for um, Halo Infinite. Now, don't get me wrong, Halo Infinite has a bunch of other problems, like no ODSTs, marine upgrades was a joke, the open world was a huge like letdown-ish, because like you can skip, I think there's 30 bosses, but there's like 4 that you have to fight. But I feel like this campaign would have been so much better if it was about your Spartan on I know it's technically installation 04. What'd they call it? Zeta Halo. It shouldn't have been about your Spartan.
anything with the multiplayer side of things. And so I don't think people are being very picky, right? And that's just a loose recap of what's happened. But you know, that's generally what's made me so annoyed is that there's just been very little hitting on the mark of it. And dang it, my friend said this too. He said it's a cycle of complaining about every little tiny thing, making it popular to hate on. Now the grifter content creators are hating on it because views, and wow, would you look at that? Another game has failed because it had a negative reaction. Halo fans are their worst enemy. Okay, this guy's my friend.
I, ooh, ooh, I gotta pick what to say about this one. I did kind of call out Actman a little bit because Actman's like one of his biggest complaints was about the voice actors for Johnson and Keys, but they're both retired. Um, and to be honest, the person I saw on Twitter the most leading the hate was Actman. Like there was a time, like a solid week before Halo Campaign Evolved came out, that he was posting about skins, he was posting about the voice actors, he was posting about I think about Sprint at one point in time. There was like so much like he was saying about it, and there were like a few people that was like joining in on it, but they were just repeating what Ackman was saying with like no active criticism on it. And do I think there should be skins in Campaign Evolve? Paid for, no. Unlockable, I don't care. Like, there's a few unlockable skins in there. I don't really care about that. I know there's a Twitch drop out there that never did got the approval to like have as my drop, which was big sad. Um, but I think one thing that I did see, and I think it's something you probably should think about, is like there were people out there that were talking about um how many positive posts are we seeing about Halo. And honestly, like one of like the biggest things I saw that I like fangirled so much about, somebody who I've watched since the beginning of their Halo journey, Uber Nick, he put out a post saying, is there anybody putting out like not putting out talking positive about Campaign Evolved? And I replied to it, I tried to as much as I can. I am honestly looking forward to the game. And Uber Nick replied to me on Twitter, and I fangirled so hard for like 3 hours about that. I was like, oh my god, it's happening. It's happening. Uber Nick recognized me. Ah! I still am happy about that. Like there was even a time during Mass Chief Collection, just through random games. I think it was like 2 times I came across Uber Nick in his games while he was streaming. I was like, oh my god. A little bit of fangirling on that.
And I do think that there is some exaggeration with how bad Campaign Evolved is. It's alright. Like, my opinion on this game hasn't changed because everyone else is being super negative about it. I still think that generally it's like a 7 out of 10. Maybe if you want to include the fact that, you know, multiplayer isn't there, I could see someone saying it's a 6. It's just the ongoing frustration with this game. I'm not going to say this is a massive turd, although people are starting to see more and more flaws in it. Was it a little bit girl bossy here with Williams? Maybe. I didn't find it extremely annoying. Maybe I could be
Halo fans be like best campaign in the fridge.
I guess I'm not gonna lose my mind over it. I'm not gonna lose my hair over it. I'm already bald anyway. So, oh, thanks Halo, by the way, for that. Anyways, the Needler and Halo CE remake has a total of 5 ammo counters if you
Wait,
use
really?
scope. Yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3 if you count the Needlers, 4, and well, 5. You could actually count this and that.
Oh my god, I never noticed this. Then again, I forget to aim a lot with like certain weapons. And I did see like a post thing that if you aim down with the needler, the range goes out faster for the tracking for the needler. But oh my god, the back, the needle plates, this little bit, and then these two. Oh my god, I never noticed that.
As 2. So I think that's pretty funny that the meme became a real thing. There's too much, people are calling this game journalism, mechanics. So, the game journalist absolutely knows exactly how many
No, I would say game journalism is still what Ubisoft does with the UI, to be honest. Like, if there's more help me icons on the map, I would say that's more game journalism level.
needles he has left. I think it was just an oversight. It's just funny. And by the way, if you're wondering when Halo will be back, it'll probably be when we see this. Okay, Halo 3, Xbox 360 boxes
Oh,
with
oh, that
icons,
console.
right? Lined
Oh,
up in Best Buy.
that's
Freaking
one of the things
awesome.
I always wanted.
This could also be pretty big. The Triumph of Tolerance, the Covenant ship here we see in the prequel missions, is destroyed by the UNSC ship called the Burden of Proof. If you don't know what burden of proof means, it is the legal duty to have the party that is accusing you of something actually prove it. So if I accused you of doing something, then I would have to prove it first. It's not on the accused to prove that they're innocent, right? And so that's what burden of proof means. And of course, the triumph of.
Should I name my ship that? Because I have proven Bonnie Ross on Twitter wrong on everything that she's ever said. And everybody called me crazy. Everyone said I was a paranoid person. Everyone said I was wrong. Bonnie Ross is trying to fix Halo. Like, I think it was Halo uh after Halo 5 when they took away split screen and she made the promise of, oh yeah, couch co-op's going to come back on the next Halo. It didn't. It didn't come back until like a few weeks after she was fired. Like the full month after Bonnie Ross was fired, Infinite went on the best streak it ever did. They threw in flood stuff. They brought in couch co-op. They brought in the ranking system for the hero rank. Still first VTuber in existence to get hero rank. They brought in like so much fixes. That was like the time, and a month after that, that's when all these informations about working underneath Bonnie Ross came out. And I'm gonna say this right now, I never got my fucking apology about being right, and everyone said I was crazy. I never got it to this day. I will have that on my tomb. Just have it right there. WeakliestDETH in quotations underneath. He was right about Bonnie Ross.
Tolerance is a little bit on the nose. Some people are saying this is just a Covenant ship name, but when you look at other ship names like in the Covenant, I mean, we're talking about things like the Hammer of Faith, Breath of Annihilation, the Clarity of Faith, the Day of Jubilation, the Solemn Penance, Lawgiver, Splendid Intention, Ascendant Justice. So while some of these are a little bit like, I guess, spell out for you, like the Clarity of Faith, you could read that as a very religious kind of name, right?
It was
And the
a very
Triumph of Tolerance,
religious
including Prophet
group.
Alani talking about diversity, it just feels a little bit on the nose, and I don't know quite if the message was being delivered well here or what they were even trying to say. If they were trying to say something, I'm just like, who are we kidding, right? I mean, are we going to just say every single thing here is a coincidence? But whether that is what their intention was or it was purely a coincidence, right? I think that it wasn't delivered well. It kind of feels actually anti-woke or whatever. It would also seem to imply, since we see Halo 4 elites in the cryo, that this was not a design choice, that elites look different in Halo 4.
They didn't have to include the Halo 4 elites and jackals. I didn't see a single grunt in there, and I really looked through all of it, and we even found Craig in one of these pods. Even though we know in Master Chief Collection they use a lot of assets from Halo Infinite, like the elites are the same from Infinite. And if you look at not the general, there's two different types of golden elites. One of the golden elites is actually the second boss that you have to fight, Chaklock, the warden of the Banish. The golden elite is actually Chaklock, and I looked at it, and I even saved a screenshot of it, and I compared it to what Chaklock looked like in Infinite. It's the same. They use Chaklock as the second boss as the basic golden elite that you see.
For which the Arbiter did, so they're breaking their own story by doing this. But it would imply that these are experimentations, so they're retconning Halo 4 and Halo 5. I think they're gonna do.
Thank God. Oh my God. There was so much going on within that, and the most common thing that they would say is like, they're crossbred with brutes, like the Sing Healy, were crossbred with brutes, and in a way, I did get that, but it was just, to me, the design choice for the elites in Halo 4 and 5 were weird. And the reason why I say this is because everywhere from like head to toe was bulky, besides their arms. For some weird reason, the Halo 4 and 5 elites had like noodle arms. It was strange.
Some pretty big stuff to rearrange the story. Possibly the Prophet of Harmony was behind the Storm faction, I'm guessing. We'll talk more about this in another video, but I thought that this is a little alarming to me because it feels like they are once again, for the 5th time now, rebooting the Halo franchise with the next big release. So, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one real soon. Peace.
Okay, that was pretty good. Halo Follower was very blunt about that. Give him like, he was very blunt about that. I will admit there have been like a solid week before the pre-release of Halo, because Halo released like 5 days before the actual release. With him talking about the content creators
Are hating on it because
of talking a mad amount of shit about Campaign Evolved, and them not being happy with some of them. Some of the ones that did talk shit did get early copies. A lot of people also did kind of point out, and it was definitely, from what I've noticed, aside from Uber Nick and I think Halo Follower and Green Skull, people said like you could tell who gives out constructive criticism other than just complaining about Halo. Now, I cannot speak for every Halo content creator. I really can't, but there's at least 2 that comes to mind that pulled this, and then those 2 didn't really like get a review copy early. Then again, at the time, there was somebody who got a review copy earlier. Oh god, it was like Blue something. I don't remember exactly his name. He did like a solid 2 or 3 days before Campaign Evolved released in its preview stage, released the full gameplay and all the cutscenes consistently, and that broke contract. And that was around the same time that like a few days later the Gears of War thing got leaked, and I did put out my tweet about the leaking stuff, and like I still stand by that. Like if you got an early copy and it says in the contract, do not release this until this date and this time, it's not hard to do. Just have your stuff ready, and whenever that date and time happens, wait 1 minute and then upload it. That's all you have to do. Don't upload it immediately and then get like your, like what people are saying with the Gears of War stuff and the Halo guy, your 15 minutes of fame, that you will lose a lot of stuff. Now, take in mind the person who got the Gears of War stuff early, extended it a bit more because the coalition did put out saying delete everything that you did before, not before, since you're releasing it before the planned release date, And it was found out that this person got the Gears of War footage not before, from another creator that gave it to him. And then he uploaded it, and he kept saying, I never signed an NDA. I can upload this if I wanted to because I got it. And one of the contracts that's from Xbox themselves, even puts it in there that you cannot release stuff early and will ban your account from everything. Like it will be like a permanent ban, deletion of the account. And this person tried to fight it, and everybody on Twitter was against him on this. And I even said, people who leak games for no reason are just looking for the 15 minutes of clout. That's all it is. I would never release stuff early if I'm told not to. If I get something early, hi Peggy. If I get something early, like, hold on, I bet I could find this tweet. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. I should be able to. Twitter. Where is it? Okay, yeah. Here's the tweet. This is what I put out on Twitter. Why do people leak games? Had this problem with Resident Evil 9, which, by the way, the Resident Evil 9, not Resident Evil 9, the person who made the storyline for Resident Evil 2 came out and said, people who leak games deserve 1,000 deaths, which is like a Japanese thing for that. And now Gears of War E-Day. I have been asked if I got to play, which I have been asked, but I am happy the 30th happens just so those questions can stop. No, I did not get to play early. I wish, Coalition, I would not ruin an opportunity of a lifetime working with a game I'm looking forward to play. And I have worked with sponsors in the past whenever they have asked me if I wanted to stream certain games. I have done that. They've also told me, please don't stream the games until like this day. There's at least 4 games I've done this for that I followed these NDA guidelines for it, and it's not the hardest thing ever to do. It is not the hardest thing to do to wait and not leak stuff when a company tells you not to release the content early. It doesn't matter if you didn't sign the NDA. You having an Xbox account and playing it, you've already have it in there. It's in the Xbox terms of services. They put that in there with the terms of services for that. Yes, you got the gameplay from someone else, but that person is also banned now. But you going out and saying, I did not sign an NDA, yes, you did.